Hello everyone, today I'll be bringing you my review on Lightning Rod at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This is one of the craziest attractions on earth. So what makes this coaster so good? Find out in today's review. So Lightning Rod will be found towards the front of the park at Dollywood. It's the only coaster credit in the front, and all you'll have to do is turn right and you'll know where to go. It's not very far that you have to walk at all to get there from park entry. The plaza is very well done. It's made to look like an old gas station, and the theming in Jukebox Junction is just fantastic. You'll notice it has the standard RMC restraints with shin guards. It has 12 rows, my favorite being row 11 and row 6 oddly enough. There's cubbies in the station, so you don't need a locker, which is nice. If you want to record this on ride with IVs, good luck, because I tried and they caught it very quickly. They'll just take them and put them in a cubby. This is one of the most strict rides in terms of POV glasses. When you get settled into your restraints and they dispatch, an engine revving sound effect will play, which should really hype you up for the ride. Let's talk about the elements Lightning Rod has to offer. I'll be counting down the elements on this ride in the next video, so these are just brief thoughts, and these are in order of the ride layout, not in order of how good they are. For the ranking and in-depth thoughts, go check that video out if it's uploaded yet, and if not, then stay tuned for it. LRAD starts with a launch that was said to reach speeds of up to 40-45 miles an hour. I don't know if it still reaches that speed, but going up a lift hill this fast is actually fairly intense. And I love going up this hill every time. It gets you so excited for what's to come. Then there's a pre-drop, which will give you airtime in the back row and not so much in the front. Then the main drop is good in any row, but especially in the back. It's the most shallow for an RMC at a 70-degree angle. The wave turn is only decent towards the front. The first twist and shout doesn't really provide any forces, but it's still fun. The second twist and shout gives ejector and butterflies. It's also sideways and sustained. I'm in love with this element. Then comes the double up, which is violent ejector airtime. Then is the quadruple down, or the quad down, which sends riders down a mountain through 4 pops of insane ejector airtime. Then is the half loop and a very fun pop into the brakes to finish off the ride. The layout isn't too much, but it's absolutely GOAT tier, so it's fun. Let's get into the categories. Each category is worth more based on how much I like these things on an RMC hybrid / topper track like Lightning Rod is. For the airtime category, this easily gets a 10 out of 10. Airtime doesn't get any stronger than it does on this ride. There's a reason the ride isn't the longest because of how insane the ejector airtime is on this ride. And you know when I say that things have Lightning Rod ejector, that shows that this is a pretty special ride for airtime. My second favorite collection of airtime of any coaster I've ridden. It's hard to beat it. This is a weak drop for an RMC, but that means it's still above average. It's a fantastic drop. Every row it's good, but especially in the back. I think this is overshadowed by the rest of the drops RMC has created and the rest of the elements on this ride. So for the drop, I'll give LRAD an 8 out of 9. Lightning Rod is one of the best paced roller coasters I've ridden, one of the best on earth, so of course I'm giving it an 8 out of 8. It's non-stop wild elements from start to finish, and it has to be so well paced since there's not that many elements. There's a reason it's one of the best coasters of all time. Although I lowered this coaster 1 spot in my rankings due to the lack of feeling like you're in the woods like you used to feel like, this still deserves a 5 out of 5. You still have insane mountain views along with a bunch of greenery. You're also away from everything else in the park. At night, I would probably appreciate this even more. I think it would move back up above Steel Engines if I got a night ride on it. Next year, hopefully. LRAD gets a 4 out of 4 for intensity. It has some good positive G-forces, and I'm glad with the amount. Remember, I judged this category based off of how much I like its intensity, and personally, I think it's perfect. At the bottom of the first drop and towards the end are the most intense moments of the ride as far as positive G's go. Glurgh gets a 9.25 out of 10 for butterflies. I feel this on 2 moments on the ride. The first drop, which isn't insanely strong, but it's noticeable. But the biggest moment of this is the second twist and shout. There's just an overload of feelings on the element, and this is for sure one of them. This has a great couple elements of this. However, it's not even the best in the park for butterflies. You'll still find a couple on this ride. Lightning Rod isn't the most comfortable coaster ever. It has tight restraints with shin guards, and it has a rattle after the wave turn, but slightly. Overall, it's a fairly smooth ride though, and the restraints do help you feel the airtime, so it's comfortable for the most part. I'll give it a 7 out of 8 for this category. Duration is not this coaster's strong point, but it still feels satisfying. Not completely, which is why I'm giving this a 7 out of 8, but for the most part it's a decent length. It doesn't have too many elements if you think about it, but if you're pulling things off the Glurgh does, I think it's not the worst thing in the world to be shorter than Steel Vengeance. This is just a brief category. I didn't think it would be fair to leave this out, but you gotta remember, it has a launch. So because of this feature, I'll give it half a point onto the total score. I don't want to give it too much more, but it deserves something for that at least. Adding these totals up, Lightning Rod gets a 58.75 out of 62, so it gained 95% of the 62 points possible, or 9.5 out of 10. That's a top tier score and nearly perfect. I think this ride deserves that score and then some. For a personal score, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 all day, every day. This is a bonus category where I'll show what I expected each category to be before I rode. This is very important because rides tend to leave a better taste in your mouth when they surprise you rather than when they disappoint you. So let's go through my prediction scores. Airtime, 10 out of 10. First drop, 7.5 out of 9. Pacing, 8 out of 8. Setting, 5 out of 5. Intensity, 4 out of 4. Butterflies, 8.75 out of 10. Comfort, 7 out of 8. Duration, 6.5 out of 8. Extra, half a point. So this comes out to me 92% or a 9.2 out of 10. So this ride actually passed expectation that I originally had for it. I'd say this is accurate because I expected Steel Vengeance to be definitely better, but Glurgh actually passed it for me, which was way unexpected. Like I said, Steve passed it again, but that's to be determined later because I like them exactly the same, so it's really a tie. Glurgh is insanity. This is some of the best airtime on Earth, and it has some really good positives on it if you like that. It feels way too out of control, and overall, it's pretty well rounded. It isn't perfect, but it's got way more good than bad. That's all you can ask for on a roller coaster. Get to Dollywood to ride this for sure. So that'll wrap up the Lightning Rod review. Let me know what you agree and disagree with. Share would be appreciated. All I can say is Glurgh is amazing. So yeah, thanks for watching. Share the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later.